Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. So this is going to be the healing video for the month. This is where Spirit comes in and gives you spots that maybe you need to look at and pay attention to, that that need some healing, that need some looking at. And we all can use moments of looking at spots, and sometimes they're not big places from what I'm getting here. Sometimes it's just little things that are just like dirt remnants or leftovers, and they can make us feel bad from time to time. Now, it's normal in a lifetime to constantly be working on ourselves, so it's a constant thing. It's work. We're always a work in progress. We're here to unpack all of these different things, look at them intently, and see if we can transform them into something, to really take a good look at something, which is our lives, our authenticity, our this path that we've created for ourselves in this lifetime. So I'm going to take a look here. This is to help you maybe take a look. I usually pull 3 to 4. I'm going to see. So whichever one feels like it resonates closer to you, or they could be more than one, you just take it in, and it's to ponder on, to meditate on, to see if there's anything you can work on yourself. So this one is Surrender to Passion. And it says, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion. Let it flow. Right? So we've been talking a lot this week about being in your head, and I feel that they're just continuing on here. They want you to concentrate on a different part of your energy. Concentrate on the passionate part of you. The mind tends to overrun things a lot of the time, and I've taken now my mind, probably like many people, just as I go to bed, when I stop working or doing stuff and it's later at night, I will like lay in bed and my mind will start working overtime. I've taken to trying to replace the thoughts with good memories or good feelings or deep breaths, or simply saying no when a thought comes in. Like you would decide on a jukebox. I know I'm dating myself, but you know, you have music that you can pick from, and you're just going, nope, I don't want that. Nope, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. So it would be maybe looking at a playlist would be better now on a phone, of going, yeah, I don't want, no, I'm not in the mood for that, and I'm not in the mood for that. So they're saying to do the same thing with your thoughts right now, to go through your mind, and when they come in, and if it's something unpleasant that you know is just going to get stuck in your mind, and it's probably the fact that you're just in a space where it would be harder for you to be able to look at it with a calm mind, or you know, it's not late at night. It's, you know, daytime, nighttime thinking, very different. In other words, tired, not tired, depending when you are up, whatever is your day. I tend to, because I sleep nights and work days, I tend to fret more at night. So it's sometimes a chore to keep the thoughts from coming in and disrupting my sense of bliss, my passion, my happiness. And I don't know why, Pisces, but I think that happens to a lot of people. So concentrate on what you're passionate about, even if it's happy thoughts of the past that brought you happiness through your passions, through following your dreams. They're saying if you're having difficulty with that, get out of your head. Like I said, a great trick for me is a simple no, rifling through, because one thought will try to come in and then another. Sometimes it takes me at least 5 disparaging thoughts for me to finally get my mind to stop sending them in. You know, I worry about things. I worry about, you know, oh, you know, the health of my family, the safety of my family. And there's nothing there that's saying that they're unsafe. There's nothing saying they're safe, but there's no imminent danger of any kind at the moment. But, you know, you start thinking, oh, we should eat better and we should do this. And, oh, you know, he was coughing or his allergies were bad. Stuff like that. It's the day-to-day stuff. And I feel that your mind starts ruminating out of stuff. And you just... And I'm going to take this as an example. I'm going to use myself, and maybe you can see yourself in this story. Growing beyond guilt. Sometimes you think that, you know, my younger son has allergies and I don't. It's his responsibility to take, you know, allergy pills if he needs them, but sometimes he doesn't. And then as a mother, I feel guilty for not being on him, right? So growing beyond guilt. Sometimes we like to take responsibility for things that are not ours to take responsibility for. He is, after all, in his 20s, and he does have the medication, and he can do it himself. And I can't be responsible for his path in life, even though I would love to be able to control everything, because I'm a control freak. I've learned to let go a lot, because I can't do everything for everybody. It couldn't have happened any other way, is what it says, right? And that's the thing you've got to release yourself from. You've got to release yourself from the outcome of everybody's life, or taking responsibility for everybody's life. Instead, take the time to concentrate on your own passions and yourself. Get out of your mind, get out of guilt, get out of thinking of things for other people. Take that energy and use it constructively for yourself and on yourself, Pisces. Okay? This one I'll take for myself as well. When I start thinking of this channel and all of you, which is a passion of mine, helping others, I feel very good inside. When I start talking and letting my guides in and vibing higher, then I start feeling a lot better inside. When I think every step and every breath I take to cleanse my body is helping this physical body function better, and I feel better about everything. So it's up to you to change the thoughts, the disparaging thoughts of guilt, of fear, of anything that you might be going through, for something better, for something much better. Okay, so this is the one I wanted to use, yeah. So I'm going to take from Spirit Message. I'm going to let them give a little something with this as well. Caregiver. We are with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives. Just as you receive care and love at the start of your life, caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. So it goes a little bit, for some of you it might actually come into play that you've actually spent most of your lives caring for other people and thinking, could I have done more? It's kind of weird because it feels like this card at the beginning looks out of place, but it's not. Because you think and overthink for everything, and that's what I feel happens with myself as well. You're trying to care for somebody. You're the one to clean a wound and apply the Band-Aid. You're the one to hold somebody's hand. You're so concerned of trying to control the situation, hoping that nothing ever happens to anybody, that you forget your own heart, your own passion, your own life. You spend nights and days fretting over things that is probably not yours to own. And that's the big message here. You're taking ownership for things that I don't know, they're not yours. They're not yours. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you can't care for other people. And you can tell them you need to take care of yourself. I can't do it for you. Especially if it's like my son with his medication. For people like this, you do the best that you can. You are a caregiver with all of your heart. But remember that their life is theirs. This is a caregiver. This is guilt by feeling responsible for taking care of everybody and forgetting yourself in the process. That is what's coming through here. And I feel that it's keeping you up nights. It's really occupying your mind because they brought my own mind to it. See, that's my own healing that I've got to go through, Pisces. We as Pisces, especially of loved ones, we get very protective of them, and we want to protect them from everything. The thing is that we forget ourselves in the process. And overthinking takes over. And it just takes all of our mind, right? You have the King of Cups that is showing itself. We have to do practice. We have to practice mindfulness and being calm and meditative. And like I said, batting away stuff that comes in and takes up our thoughts, our thought process, and just is kind of overbearing in everything that we do. It's so hard to do this. It's so hard to sometimes get into this Zen type deal situation when in your heart you're going, but I feel like I'm not taking care of the people I love. I should be worrying about them because they're not worrying about themselves. See, you're like, if I'm worried about them and if I'm on them, then nothing bad will happen. But the thing is that you can't guarantee any of that. You can't. People will die. People will hurt. People will injure themselves. People will have to go through their own things. And it's not up to you to feel guilty about it. Especially if you've been on them, if you've given everything that you can and they're still doing whatever they want. There's only so much you can do. And you have to really take care of yourself. Because if you as a caregiver, somebody who has got a lot of love in their heart but is giving it to everybody, suddenly gets overwrought with fear and guilt and overthinking, you yourself may get sick. And then you won't be able to help anybody. Okay? So this is your healing. I want you to take a moment today, and when a disparaging thought comes in, Spirit wants you to go into meditation and go to a happy place. And if you don't have one, it's high time you created one. A Zen happy place where you can just let yourself be in that wonderful feeling. Yes, to be in that wonderful feeling. Grab a memory. It could be one from childhood. It could be one from last week. And I want you to sit in that beautiful feeling. Okay? And bat away those thoughts. Even if you can only manage it for a couple of hours today, work on it every day until you can be in a better place. If you're afraid that you're going to no longer be able to care for other people, you can spend an amount of time practicing, telling people, well, I want to be there for you, I'll care for you. If it's for somebody who's sick or dying, I'm sure you have your time with them, absolutely. If it's for children, grown children, you can spend days going, you should care better about yourself. What can we do so that you feel better about yourself and so that your days are better? And then release that and come back to yourself and be very passionate and caring about what's important to you. Okay? Okay, so we're going to put these aside and now we're going to go into another one for you, Pisces. There you go. Surrender fear is the next one, and no surprise there, right? So the next one, the biggest thing is overthinking that comes in is worry. The other one is fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Okay, so this is a little different than that. Fear is already included in this one. This one is more for situations where you scare yourself. You have, I'm going to call them boogeyman stories that you tell yourself that are not necessarily true, but feel really scary and true to you when you're speaking to yourself. We're not very kind with ourselves when we start trying to do something new or something unknown or just walking a new path forward. It doesn't really matter. It can even be the known. It can even be going for, let's say you're working somewhere and you're going for a promotion or another job. You're applying for something where there's advancement, and suddenly you think to yourself, oh, I don't have the qualifications, I'm never going to be, even though you're used to the environment, even though you could probably learn that work really quickly, you get scared and start talking yourself out of it immediately. And that's just fear. That's just, you're telling yourself boogeyman stories. It's better to give up than to fail. Risk failing is what I hear. Receiving elation. Okay. I am born of infinite joy. Right. So what they're saying here, Pisces, is hold on to joyful feelings. I'm thinking of that, you know, going for that promotion. The thought that came through, like, oh, I should apply for that. That moment. Just before you talk yourself out of it, it gave you a boost. A thing of, ooh, something new, something adventurous, something I've never done before. They want you to really keep that sense of elation. That elation is that feeling of, ooh, you know, if I was to say it in kind of like interpretive language, this is exactly what it would feel like or what it would sound like. Ooh, how exciting. How new, how joyful. So they want you to go into elation, joy, and excitement rather than fear right away. Because we like to scare ourselves. Oh, do we love to scare. I love that we have trust underneath. I don't know what they're going to come out with, but that felt pretty right. It's having a sense of trust in yourself, Pisces, as well. Love. Love is the foundation of your existence, and you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving love and compassion. While love can be a beautiful emotion, it is equally a form of energy that propels you through life. So love here, love of oneself. And I would say that trust, because that trust card had the heart emoji. I'm going to look for it because I do believe that it is, I feel it, I can hear it so much. And it has the green heart space to it, which just feels right and correct. Of course, I'm not going to find it now, but I do feel it, Pisces. It's got reach out, forgiveness. There it is, trust. I'm going to pull that one out with this one because I feel it as well. When I saw it, I felt I should have just taken it out. It says, while your logical mind is dictating a supposedly clear direction, your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow an alternative path. The logical path may be one that you consider safe and more familiar, but you could be missing out on boundless opportunities and so much more. So I feel that it's it's time for you to love yourself enough to trust your decisions. And that's what they're saying the healing is for this. Okay? Feel elation, feel joy, feel trust, feel love towards your decisions and your thoughts. Instead of disparaging, instead of throwing fear on them and making yourself, discouraging yourself before you even begin. It's time to get out of that pattern, Pisces. Because this fear stops us from doing, and it creates a narrative to make us stop doing this. And it feels safe. But safety in this case, yeah, it's just going to hide. You have the Four of Swords, which says rest and healing, but it's also like being cocooned in this nest away. It's like you're thinking, I'm safe here. I don't need to get out of here. Because if I get out of there, it gets scary out there. So I'm just going to hide under the blankets. And I'm going to stay right here. The thing is that you don't get to experience the world that way. You don't get to move forward that way. You're already where you are at. You can go back here if you need to. Okay? That already exists for you. So give something new a chance. And if it doesn't work out, you can come in back to the safety of the here. But don't give up before you even start. Okay? So that's number 2. Let's take one more. I think I'm going to do one more. I think that's going to be enough time after. I could probably stay here all day, but... Now, don't forget, I have another channel called The Magic of Gratitude. Very good for getting your vibes higher. I also have live streams on Monday. You have to be a subscriber that I know, that I've seen in the comments. But as later half, I'll answer questions for you. Surrender to Success is the next one. Thank you so much, everybody who's donated, who's subscribed to the channel. Everything that you do helps, and I'm very grateful for you. I keep adding things, so just keep coming back to check, because I keep adding stuff. It's growing, right? Okay. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. So this is courage, okay? This is, instead of dictating failure, I feel that these kind of sort of tie in together. But the Surrender to Success card is telling you, just believe it is so. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you are going to make it. We surrender to fear and then the possibility of failure kind of makes us go in hiding. How about you surrender this time to the fact that you're going to succeed rather than fail? Tell yourself that narrative. Tell yourself that story. Resolving anger and deconstructing doubt. Okay. Resolving anger is conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. And it says, only my beliefs are in my way. So this one is separate for me. This is for somebody this is a separate message for somebody who has problem with anger. I feel that the blocks that present themselves in your life have to do with the anger that you feel over something. I'm feeling relationship-wise. I feel that somebody angered you in past relationships, and it's resolving the anger to that will help you move forward in a new relationship. I'm actually going to leave that here because that was separate. It's for somebody who is having difficulty right now. I'll say this just like this. They're showing me like being angry with somebody that's new in your life. Let's say you're single and somebody came in, and when you're around them, you feel very good, but then suddenly you start feeling very angry. And you've asked the question, why am I so angry when I feel so good about this person? It makes no sense. So this is a question, and conflicts remind me when I need more space for myself. What you need to do, though, is to resolve the anger from something that's happened in the past. I feel that what they're showing me is that you're being reminded of feeling maybe vulnerable and happy in a past relationship, but that relationship kind of crashed and burned. That's what I feel. And they're showing me that it's bringing that up. It's like that healing didn't happen for you, or it wasn't resolved. It wasn't, and you have to resolve that anger. You have to resolve those feelings in order to move forward. Yeah, so it's time to have a conversation with yourself about that anger and go deeper. So I don't know who this is for, and it's not really following the card because the card says something different in the back. This is something different. This is a personal message. It happens. It's because somebody asked a question. So, all right. So this is surrender to success and deconstructing doubt. I love that. Light. Imagine yourself a being composed of energy and light, because in reality, that's precisely what you are. You are a powerful being, and people are attracted to your brilliance. This is a time to remember how vibrant you truly are. There you go. You are very vibrant, and in that vibrancy and that light, there is success. Don't forget that. You're a being of light. You're not a being of dark weight and failure. You're a being of light. You're here to succeed at whatever you're doing. Even if it's deconstructing the self and putting it back together, and that's all you ever do. If you succeed to do that, you've succeeded to do that. To look at all the little intricate parts of you, to see what makes you tick. Right. See, we're built on the basis of finding and creating harmonies for ourselves, and constantly going into new cycles and shifts in our lives. And we're always trying to steer the wheel towards success. Of course, why would we be steering the wheel to failure? But sometimes that's what we're inadvertently doing. We believe more in failure than we do in success. And that's a truly sad part. It would be, a much more optimistic world if we started out believing how much success we would have in any given thing, rather than having an idea and then talking ourselves out of it in fear of failure. So success is where you need to be going, the direction you need to be walking. Okay? All right, Pisces. So this has been your Healing Saturday. Of course, you have the King here, and underneath the deck, you have the Queen. Remember that there's two sides to everything. There's the masculine and the feminine that help you. There's the receiving and then action. And the receiving is sometimes the place where we get wounded in the feminine, okay? This is where the thoughts come in, and why am I not good enough, and can I be doing more? But the masculine needs to come in and be very decisive and be very kind as well. The King of Cups is the masculine, but he is a very very decisive and calm energy to have, and he's a very good energy to have because he's one that cares for the calm and the well-being of the self, of the emotional being, and working on that as much as possible to bring you zen and happiness. So this coupling, these two, are water gurus, I would call them. The King and the Queen of Cups are what we should really try to balance within ourselves, and any kind of healing that we bring forward. Always see both sides, not just the bad side, but the good side. What if it was all good in the end? Something I have to practice myself, my dear Pisces. So I'm going to leave you with this. I hope you've enjoyed this healing. Let me know which one really affected you the most in the comments, 1, 2, or 3. And yeah, let me know how that affects you in your life. I'm sending you a lot of love, light, and blessings, and I will be back later for your weekly read. Take care.